Hello, fellow introverts, and welcome to my channel and welcome to my podcast. So, today we're talking about the 7 qualities of a modern leader. So, do you, my fellow introverts, fall under the category of a modern leader? We'll find out. Let's see. So, the 7 qualities include empathy, communication, decision-making, resilience, self-awareness, agility, and delegation. So out of those 7 qualities, who do you think possesses those skills more? An extrovert or an introvert, right? So as far as empathy, do you think that quality is more, I don't want to say is lacking. Let's say, do you think that quality comes easier for introverts or for extroverts, right? Not saying that one lacks it and the other has it 100%, so we're not speaking in absolutes here. Studies have shown that some qualities come a little bit easier for extroverts and a little bit easier for introverts. So that's what I'm talking about here. Out of the 7 qualities, where would we line up those qualities to come easier? Is it easier for extroverts or is it easier for introverts, right? So for empathy, number 1, where do you think that ranks? I think I'm going to put empathy, I'm going to give it to the introverts. Yes. Communication, where do you think that ranks? I'm going to give communication, of course, to the extroverts, right? We all know we introverts have communication problems, okay? So we're going to give that to extroverts. So 1 introverts, 1 extroverts. Decision making, where do you think that goes? Who makes decisions a little bit better than the other? I'm going to give it to the introverts because studies have shown that we introverts, we don't make quick, sudden decisions. We take our time and we look at every side of the story and make sure that we make sure that we're doing all the research required before we make a decision. That is, studies have been done to prove this, okay? So I'm going to give decision making to the introverts. Resilience. Who do you think is more resilient? Who can withstand, tough times a little bit better than the other, right? You'd be surprised with this one because studies have shown that introverts are a little bit more resilient, okay? We can handle working by ourselves a little bit better than you extroverts can. So I would call that a little bit, we can up you guys up a little bit on that resiliency, because if we can work alone and be solo, I'm going to say we have a little bit more resilience, or we have a little bit more of a resilient nature than you extroverts do. Self-awareness. Who is a little bit more self-aware? Introverts, we get that one too. Yep, we are statistically known to be more self-aware than extroverts, okay? Next leadership trait is agility. So who's better at moving quicker, right? If something changes suddenly, who's better at adapting to the changes, right? So who's more agile? I'm going to give it to you extroverts out there, okay? That is definitely an extrovert's strength because they're very good at making quick decisions, okay? And that's required for you to have great agility skills. And the last but not least is delegation. Who do you think is a better delegator? I'm going to give it to the extroverts, okay? Because if they're better at communicating, then they're naturally better at delegating, because if you can't communicate, you can't delegate work, can you? So let's tally up the scores. Okay, so if you saw my table that I have there, introverts have 4 traits of leadership given to them, right? Empathy, decision making, resiliency, and self-awareness. So that's 4. And we gave you extroverts 3 things: communication, of course, agility, and delegation, right? So introverts are winning out on the qualities of a leader, right? We are 3 to 4. We beat extroverts out 3 to 4. But why are we not known for leadership? Why are we not the first group of people selected to be leaders and to lead a group, to lead a project, to go and speak in front of a client and try to win proposals? Like, why are we not the ones who are typically selected? Communication. Communication is what opens up the door for leadership. You can have all these skills, but if people don't see you as a good, confident communicator, they're not going to see you as somebody who can lead a team, who can go and speak to clients and win them over. They're not going to see you as a leader. So that is why we introverts suffer at climbing up that leadership ladder. We are not great communicators, right? And this is something that I learned, as an introvert. I had to work on my communication skills. And once I did, things started to open up for me. It was not the only thing that helped me climb up the ladder. I don't want you to think, you work on your communication skills and you become a leader. There's so much more to it, which I'm going to dive in deeper in my next videos and episodes. But communication is the door opener. If you do not get that communication right and build that confidence while you talk to people, you're not going to get in the door. But I want to give you guys hope, right? Because I know when you think of public speaking, it might get you, you might feel very nervous and you're like, oh, I don't want to, you might not want to step out of your comfort zone, right? You want to go back into your comfort zone where you don't have to speak in public. I get it. But I want to tell you guys something. When I got into those leadership positions, right? When I started to get it, when I started getting into leadership positions, it was funny because I would have to take all these leadership classes, right? All the leaders in corporate have to start taking all these manager and leadership courses and training programs. And in those training programs, they're teaching extroverted leaders, because most of the people that are in those programs are extroverts. So they're teaching extroverts how to gain these qualities here that introverts naturally have, right? They're teaching leaders to be more empathetic to the people who report to them. They're teaching them to have more self-awareness, right? So that they can be better inclusive leaders, right? They're teaching them to gain these skills that we introverts have naturally, right? So if extroverts have to do a little tweak just to be better leaders, then we introverts, what's wrong with us just tweaking some little things here and there too to be better leaders also? And what you really need to tweak is your communication, because once you get that communication down, the door opens for you, and leadership, all these leadership skills that you naturally possess will just shine. Okay, so let's improve on this communication skill. Okay, and I'm going to talk to you more about that in my future videos. But yes, so I'm just giving you guys some hope, right? This is what they're doing. This is what they're teaching a lot of these leaders, to be a little bit like introverts, right? So now you just gotta come on over a little bit to the extroverted side, just a little bit, and just improve your communication skills. And let me tell you something. I am still the quietest person in the room that I go to. I spoke to an old boss a couple of weeks ago, and I told him I was doing a talk in introverted leadership, and he was like, "You're an introvert?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you didn't know that?" So I'm not saying that we need to trick them, but there are little tweaks you can make in your communication skills and communication style that you don't have to be an extrovert. But there are little things, once you tweak, it can make you seem more confident, make you seem more like a leader, right? And you can still be that quiet person in the room that doesn't say much, and just be that great observer that we are, right? You can still do that, but Again, we'll talk more about that in another video. But thank you guys for joining me. Make sure you reach out to me. If you don't agree with what I did, my breakdown, leave a nice comment. Let's not take anything personally here, extroverts. Okay? Just leave a nice comment. And let's talk about it. Let's see, do you agree with how I divided up the skills? Maybe not. This is just to empower introverts, not putting down extroverts. We all rock. Okay? Take care.